From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good Monday afternoon, Penn State. Student meteorologist Christopher Tate here with your Campus Weather Service forecast. It's a cloudy day to start the work week here in central Pennsylvania. Lots of clouds showing up on our Beaver Stadium skycam. Not so the story for parts of the rest of the state, however. Lewisburg showing mostly sunny conditions just to our east. Meanwhile, down in Philadelphia, only some scattered clouds showing up on our skycam in downtown Philly. 64 degrees is the reading on the mercury at Beaver Stadium this hour. Dew point of 57. We had some fog this morning. The temperature and the dew point were a lot closer together, but they've begun to separate, and so some of those low clouds we saw this morning have begun to lift. Around the rest of central Pennsylvania, 60s and 70s is the name of the game. 68 over in Williamsport, 67 in Selinsgrove. Meanwhile, as you head to the west and to the east, there's plenty more in the 70s to be found. West of Highway 219, pretty much everybody in the low and even mid-70s, 75 in Erie, and a comfortable 74 degrees showing up in Pittsburgh this morning. Radar and satellite, fairly quiet this morning, not only here in Pennsylvania, but across much of the Northeast as well. There's a big bubble of high pressure situated over Maine, and we're getting a little bit of the return flow around the southern edge of that area of high pressure, and so much of northeastern and eastern Pennsylvania is staying relatively cloud-free this morning. Not quite so much the case here in central Pennsylvania or in the southwest, but we'll have some sun peeking through in the latter half of the day. Speaking of, let's turn things over to future weather. Scattered clouds persisting through the region during the rest of the day today. Temperatures warming nicely into the low and mid 70s here in central PA, even some 80s showing up on the board in the northwest. Meanwhile, clouds will begin to overspread the area as we head through the overnight hours and temperatures fall back into the 50s. Now, an area of low pressure is currently getting itself organized over the northern plains, and as it approaches, clouds will become more widespread in the latter half of the day on Tuesday, and by the time we turn the calendar over to Wednesday, I think we'll have some shower activity, perhaps overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, but then especially during the day on Wednesday. This area of low pressure is going to be carrying a lot of moisture with it, and as you can see as we widen out the view and switch over to the European forecast model, lots of rain going to be riding along. It's a cold front. It's going to be sweeping across the state, and you can see this very clearly defined area of low pressure over northwestern Ohio and, say, south central Michigan. As that presses east, some computer models indicate that State College could get over an inch of rain during the day Wednesday, and before that precipitation eventually tapers, I'll say midday Thursday, though there is a little bit of disagreement in computer model land on that. That low will eventually get out of our hair just in time for the Villanova game this weekend, so I expect good conditions for that game. For today, scattered clouds over much of central Pennsylvania. We'll call it 73 degrees. That's about average for this time of year, with a light southeasterly breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll cool things off into the mid and upper 50s tonight, more so mid 50s in the outlying areas. Clouds will be on the increase overnight tonight into tomorrow. Then mostly cloudy to overcast for the day on Tuesday, 69 degrees for your high. So not quite as pleasant of a day as we had during the day today in State College, but not entirely a washout. That'll be reserved for Wednesday. Speaking of, after that cold front sweeps across the area, temperatures will get knocked back into the mid 60s for the highs and low 50s for lows, but we'll eventually get the sun back just in time for the weekend and just in time for the Villanova game. Our first look at the forecast calls for a high of 70, so should be feeling pretty good for that game. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service, I'm student meteorologist Christopher Tate. Have a great afternoon.